Morning, Year 6. I hope you're all feeling well today on this absolutely beautiful day. Another beautiful day today. So first of all, we're going to have a little look at those poems that we did yesterday. I got sent some absolutely stunning ones. So really, really good work. What we've been doing is free verse poem, which is kind of like where you don't need any rhymes. It doesn't follow any structure. It's just creating an image through sentences that you put together, creating that. So there's no real rules for it, which is absolutely fantastic. So we could leave it as it is, but they're very short as a first try, and so we want to extend them and kind of build on that image. So we're going to have a look at how you could do that today. So if I bring up my shared screen, there it is. There we go, and we go on to slideshow. Great. So this was my poem that I created. So the dove flies high, the hands tick morosely, coffee steams slowly, the daughter smiles beautifully, the frame held desperately, the string tied tightly, possessions wait patiently, love lasts forever. So you can hear the kind of like natural flow of the poem, but again, it's almost a little bit prescriptive in the way that it is, in the way that it's noun, verb, adverb. So that acts as a really good base to be able to manipulate it into a better poem. And there's a couple of ways that we can do that. We're going to focus on 3 ways, I think it is. So the first way is through onomatopoeia. And onomatopoeia is fantastic in poems because it gives the reader a sense of what the author can hear. And that's what onomatopoeia is. It is what the sound that is made. So for example, boom is onomatopoeia. So that's the sound that's made. Ooze, drip, sizzle, hiss, whisper, pop. And then there's some other examples. So you've got your flutter, buzz, chirp, boing, crash, clunk, crackle. The way I always try and remember it is if you were reading like a comic strip, like one of those old fighting comic strips of like Batman or something like that, and they'd have like kapow or bang or smack. Okay, so it's like kind of like harsh sounding words for the actions, or the very soft sounding words for like flutter or hiss. Okay, so it's those sound words that we could put into it. So I'm thinking off the top of my head that when we're talking about the hands of the clock, I could have the tick, 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 tick. Or if I'm talking about the bird flying, flutter, flutter. So it's using onomatopoeia in a way that almost repetitive, so the author can hear. So the reader can hear what the author's thinking. Okay, so that's the first way that we're going to try and improve it. So here's an activity for you to do. Can you think of what onomatopoeia would go with these words? Okay, so pause the video and have a look. Okay, hopefully you came up with some fantastic ones. Hopefully you paused the video. So like laughing would be like ha 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 ha. That's onomatopoeia. Thunder, crack. Things like scream would be the big ah, yeah. Running, pant, pant. So those type of ideas. Okay, so hopefully I'm interested to hear what ones you came up with. Okay. So this is personification. I don't know why the title's gone off. So personification, we kind of already did it a little bit in the poem. Personification is when you personify an object. So you give something that is non-living a human attribute. So for example, the houses stood. Okay, so the house is something that is non-moving, it's something that doesn't live, but you are giving it something that humans do, so standing, an action. Okay, so you could say the rain whispered. Okay? So rain is something that is non-human, and we're giving it a human attribute. So whispering, something that humans do. So it's always the noun and the verb that goes with it. That's how you create something. So there's some things. So rain, snow, wind, sun. Can you come up with, just having a chat about, can you come up with a personification verb that would go with each of these? So pause the video. Okay, so hopefully you've come up with some. An example might be, like I said, the rain whispering down. You could have the snow falling. Again, that's a human. Or you could have the snow skipping down. You could have the wind whistling. That's a human thing to do. You could have the sun, like I say, standing. You could have it floating. Could you have floating? No, I don't think you could have floating because humans do not float. There we go. You could have the sun smiling. There we go. Sun smiling. Got it. You could have a city standing. You could have a city sitting. Okay, because you could say a city sat in a valley. That's a human attribute. You could have a forest whispering. You could have a jungle living, a classroom shouting, and the riverbank could be laying. Okay, so you see how I'm kind of trying to put as much as possible the ing ending, because I know that in my poem that we're going to be using it in the present tense. Fire could be dancing, and water could be swimming, maybe. Breathing, water breathing, maybe. So to do this, you've got to have something that's not alive and put it with something that humans do, like an action. And it has to be very specific. You can't just, like I said, floating. Well, humans don't float, it's a verb, but technically they don't float all the time. Yeah, so that's personification. And next is simile and metaphors. And simile and metaphors, you should definitely know what similes and metaphors are, or at least similes, because we do them from like year 2. So similes are quite easy. A simile is when we compare it to something else, and we usually do as and as or like. So her eyes are as bright as the sun, or water sparkles like stars. So we're comparing it to something else. So it's the as, like. So that's what a simile is basically. So in my poem, I could think about the young family and could say the young family's smiles were like. Nope, can't think of anything. My brain's gone blank. Okay, so maybe not the young family smiles then. That's a pretty tricky one. Oh, the tie. Okay, the tie was like a new. No, not a noose. Like a band constricting the heart. Okay, so it's like tying really tight. So I'm giving it a comparison. A metaphor is not when you say it is like something, you say that it is that thing. So Adam is a cheeky monkey. Instead of saying Adam is like a cheeky monkey, you say Adam is a cheeky monkey. So in the thing, you might say the air is stifling. The air is heavy. The air is heavy would be a better one. The sea is a cruel mistress. The classroom is an oven. Things like that. So metaphors are quite tricky, but instead of comparing it, saying like, you just say it is that thing. So the origami dove is usually you'd say is like an animal. You could say is an animal. So it's quite tricky, to be honest, metaphors, because you are just literally taking out the as and like and putting is instead. Okay, so this was my poem, and I'm going to have a look at how I can improve it. So the dove flies high, the hands tick morosely, the coffee steams slowly, and the daughter smiles beautifully. Okay, so I want to improve that, and there's the other part. Okay, so I'm going to come out of this because I need to edit. Right. I've had a go. I've had a little go. So the first part is the dove flies high. I want to think about how they're flying high. Let's see what I put. Gliding effortlessly through the sky, through the clagging sky, I think I put. So gliding effortlessly through the clagging sky. So I want to try and get one of my few things in there. So either onomatopoeia, personification, or symbols or metaphors. So instead of putting gliding, I'm going to put, what would humans do? Skipping effortlessly through the clagging sky. Okay, now my next line says the hands tick morosely, but I've kind of jumped a little bit, haven't I? Because I've gone from the dove to the hands. So I'm going to put in the hands of the clock tick morosely. Now this is that section where I was saying, actually, I could have some onomatopoeia or something like that, couldn't I? So you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that sound of tick and repeat it there. Okay, so far I've got the dove flies high, skipping effortlessly through the clagging sky. There we go. I have got my personification. Hands of the clock tick morosely, tick, tick, tick. I've got my onomatopoeia. Coffee steams slowly. Now I came up with an idea. Let's see what I thought. Filling the air with a bitter taste. It's good information so far. So I've added some information, but I've not really put any of those things in. So I'm going to say, filling the air with a bitter taste, like what would be bitter? How about making the air heavy with making the air heavy like a bitter. Well, now it wouldn't make sense. So maybe coffee steams slowly, making the air heavy like a blanket. Yeah, so it's kind of filling up the air and it's making it heavy like a blanket. Blanket on. No, we'll leave that. So the daughter smiles beautifully. A lasting picture of a fleeting moment. Okay, so let's just give you an extra information. I'm quite happy with that one, to be honest. So that one's a simile. A lasting picture of a fleeting moment. Okay, so I've not really got anything in that one, but it's giving extra poetic imagery, and that's fine as well. Oh, some more. Nope. Right, happy with that. Let's move on to the next slide. Let's just double check it. The dove flies high, skipping effortlessly through the clagging sky. The hands of the clock tick morosely, tick, 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 tick. Coffee steams slowly, making the air heavy like a blanket. The daughter smiles beautifully, a lasting picture of a fleeting moment. Quite happy with this. Right, the frame held desperately. Let's see what I did. Gripping onto a memory. So I used personification in this one. That gripping action. The string tied tightly and gripping. So now we've got gripping twice. So I'm going to get rid of that. The string tied tightly. Like the tight feeling around my heart. So I've used a simile. And then possessions, weight. So I've got personification, I've got a simile. You know what I've not got is any metaphors. So let's put a metaphor in. So possessions wait patiently. So I need to say they are or is. Whoops. They are. So I need to give it something. So they are the lifeline. Oh, they are a reminder of our past. There we go. Metaphor. What that is. There. And then for that last little bit, all I did was I thought, well, if I separate it out so it sounds like it's having on each different line, so there's a pause after each word, then it will be a good ending, almost like a full stop at the end of my poem. So love lasts forever. Okay, separating it out. Right, let's put all this together then. Let's get rid of that. And let's get, where is it? There we go. Get this. Put it here. Put it here. Nope, not going to let me. Try again. Put it here. There we go. Move over. Okay, and then we want this paragraph, verse. Come on, Mrs. Kidman, we're working in poetry. And let's put, oh, goodness me. Let's make that smaller. And put that there. Right, there we go. So that's now my poem. Let's see how it flows. The dove flies high, skipping effortlessly through the clagging sky. The hands of the top clock tick morosely, tick, 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 tick. Coffee steams slowly, making the air heavy like a blanket. The daughter smiles beautifully, a lasting picture of a fleeting moment. The frame held desperately, gripping onto a memory. The string tied tightly like the tight feeling around my heart. Possessions wait patiently, they are a reminder of our past. Love lasts forever. Look at that! Chuff with that. So you can hear it. It creates a beautiful image. It's giving that more information. It's less prescriptive than the previous poem, and straight away you can see that there's a massive difference. So we've gone from a very basic lower key stage 2 poem to a very good upper key stage 2 poem. Okay, so this is more like a year 6 poem. So hopefully you can have a go at improving yours. I would love to see them up leveled now into the new standard. So please send them across because I'm really enjoying reading them, and hopefully we'll be able to get some of them on the website. Okay, hope you're all doing well, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.